everyone, it's Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Confessions of a Paper Addict design team layout. So I have got my tiled Kaisercraft 6x6 stencil here, and I'm very carefully stenciling the entire page piece of my white cardstock. This is really thick cardstock, so I haven't done anything to prepare my surface. It's super thick, thicker than your normal American Crafts cardstock. It's really weighty. I buy it from a company at a market here in Australia. So I am going to carefully stencil the entire page. So I do one square at a time, and I do dry it off a little bit with my heat gun just so I can then layer the next stencil on top a little bit to match the next spot. So once that is done, all 12 by 12 inches is done. It is all dry, and now I'm getting out my watercolors. So my watercolors here are just a cheap packet from the $2 shop. And I'm just splodging on this pink, no which way, no rhyme or reason, just whacking it on, using lots of water, and just going to town, just drawing little squiggles really, and sort of joining them up, and really not thinking too hard about it. I just really want that texture to show through, and as you can see, the beautiful pattern in the paper comes out a lot more when I add it to add the pink on top of it. It's very much inspired by a technique that Danny was using not that long ago in one of her videos. So just splodging this all on, just now mixing in a little bit of picked raspberry and a distress oxide. I just wanted that darker pink color to sort of come through, and it's got a little bit of a shine to it as well. So this is splodging all on the page, just using everything up. Then I'm going to pull out a light pink as well, a bit more like a don't know what you'd say this, a peach maybe color, just coming on through, just to add again a little bit more highlight of that softer color in there. And then once this one is down, I am going to add some darker pink, almost red pink, just in a few spots as well, again just to add a little bit of that dimension and color. And then finally, just before this is finished, I'm going to, racing ahead here, I'm going to get, I'm twisting it around because in my brain I know the basic idea of how I want my layout to go, and I think the paper needs to be this way. So now I'm going to splat on a little bit of Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine. If you are going to splat that on while the paint is still wet, it won't have that same look about it as if you waited for the paint to dry. So it sort of makes your splutters run a little bit, so they don't form your nice beautiful sort of splots or dots around your page when you splat them on. They bleed because the rest of the paint is wet and there is water on your page. So it depends on the effect that you want. You may want to wait for it to dry before you do your Heidi Swap Color Shine if you want it to be a little bit more precise little spots. Can you see how they've bled in amongst the texture there? That was the look I wanted, I knew that, but just so you're aware as well. So I have also pulled out my sewing machine, so I am going to stitch a border around the edge of this page. At first I thought I would mat my paper on a different 12 by 12 cardstock to create a border, but I think with all the texture and the mixed media going on in the background that I don't need to. I really love the look of the layout as it is, with such a beautiful background. So I decided I'd just do a white plain running stitch all the way around the page. So once that is done, I will get to town actually making my layout. So I am using a really old Kaiser Craft collection are called Finders Keepers. I bought a 6x6 paper pad and one of those like collector's packs. You know, the ones that have 6 bits of paper and a sticker sheet. So that's what I'm using to create this layout. So I backed one of the older cut files called Couples, and then I backed the floral frame cut file, floral frame 2 cut file. Spit it out, Jess. Floral frame 2 cut file from the May release for this one. And I just love it. I loved those flowers. They were just beautiful, and I thought they went really, really well with my photo with the gorgeous red in the photo. So using a bunch of the ephemera here, just trying to represent the different colours actually was my main sort of focus here. And then the title is obviously the big Mr. and Mrs. I didn't do any other title. I didn't think it was necessary. I could have got some more thickers and explained a bit more what was going on, but I do also have a little bit of journaling. I do always journal on my pages, but I don't always show it to you. So this time I actually got my journaling ready in advance, and the reason why I did that is I actually felt on the left-hand side there was quite a lot of space, too much space. It didn't quite look right, the amount of space. So I actually printed out my journaling and typed out my journaling on my typewriter and got my journaling ready so that you could get a better overall feel as to how this layout will actually look finished. So you can see there the beautiful mixed media was just perfect, and the texture on that paper was just amazing for really lifting this layout. You can see how stark it would have been if I had not done that mixed media behind the photos. I definitely would have needed some form of pattern paper to back this on instead. So just as I mentioned earlier, I'm just trying to represent the different colours a little bit in each of my clusters. So a pink, a yellow, a green, a red. I probably could have had a little blue, but I didn't want to overdo it. So down in that bottom cluster, I've got the yellow, the pink, the green, and the blue. And in this top cluster, I've got the yellow, the pink, the green, and the red. So just a little bit showing through of the different colours. And then I move on to my final cluster, which is going to be my journaling base. So I've got a little, like a note tag that says, I think it says today's notes. And then I've got all of my typed journaling. So I typed my journaling out using my old school typewriter that we found in my grandfather's garage or shed when we were cleaning it out. And I just cut it into different strips instead of keeping it as one whole big section. And I'm going to lay those out on top of that journaling card with a little bit of embellishment in underneath that too. There's a little ticket stub that says love, like a raffle ticket. And then I've got a few other bits and bobs too. So let's pop this down first. I found these cut files, both of these cut files, super easy to cut, to back actually. Some cut files are really fiddly and they're a bit tricky, but these two in particular I really found quite quick and easy. Granted, I have done a lot, so my cut file backing skills have upped, but yeah. I hope you're getting in there and giving these cut files a go. They are a lot of fun, and they certainly make layouts quick and easy because they do so much of the work for you. I also pulled out, these stickers came from the Lucky Us sticker collection from Create Paper. I just thought they were a nice little addition to the bottom of the page. I liked the colours and I liked the mood and feel that they had for this particular layout, so I just popped those along the bottom as well. And then I'm almost finished. So I am going to pop a few little rhinestones onto the layout. I actually end up getting some nice little pearls. They're really shiny pearls. They were really lovely. And I end up popping those just around the page as well. I think I do about 5 of them. Just looking through my massive stash of rhinestones and enamel dots. They're mostly rhinestones, but I'm trying to use up the open packet ones, the ones that are getting all the glue's getting dry and they're starting to fall apart. I could possibly throw those ones away, but you know, one never throws away things that can still be used. So yes, I've got these super pearly, gorgeous pearls. That's why they're pearly, but they've just got this extra shine to them that a real pearl doesn't have. They're really cute. So I just popped those on, and then I decided just for a little bit of color matching, I'd put a different size of the little pink pearls as well, which is really cute. I really like the way that turned out. And then I'm going to pop you in for some close-up photographs so you can get a better example of all the different textures and the way this layout all pulled together. So here it is right now. So there we have it. You can see all the beautiful texture, the stitching line around the outside, the mixed media, the texture paste, the layers, the way I've popped my cut files both up on foam. Like it's all come together so beautifully. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this layout and I hope I've inspired you. Happy scrapping, and I will see you next time.